Edward, good morning and welcome to the Epic Morning Show.
Good morning.
Moses, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice having you both in the studios this morning.
Thanks for having me.
When I look at you, the file and the papers in front of you, I feel somewhere, am I secure? Am I safe this morning?
You're very safe, sir.
Very safe. Okay. So let's start off the conversation. We see the letter Justice Halloway be pulled on the 11th of August 2025 this year. A state holistically talk about in welfare being deprived. For sum it up all up. And later we see the suspension that was on the 15th of September. We saw the suspension from the office of the president. Now let's start off the conversation. I'll start with you, Moses. In that letter, I shall see you read the letter, you don't go through the letter. Some people could wonder because is it the judge be wrong for writing the letter in the first place?
Thank you for inviting me this morning. The suspension of the Supreme Court.
No, talk about the letter.
No.
It be wrong for writing the letter
wait,
concern. Okay,
we'll get there. The suspension of the Supreme Court judge. Not about one person. A big past one person. It's a test of how independent will judiciary be. So and the strength of we
go reach to that side.
I cannot just answer you that question whether it was wrong or right. It's a process.
Okay.
Let me just finish. So now you don't ask me that question. Now we see that suspension letter coming from the State House, and without any reason being made. So, but you are now referencing to that letter where the justice suspended justice right not to so. The issue as I tell you, a big pass one person. So it's about due process, whether they follow the law as it is. It is whether our judges are safe to speak without fear. Speaking can only say it can be in writing as well. And it's about whether the executive can interfere before the judiciary even handle own affair. Now, we are watching as a nation, as you say, because whether we will defend the rule of law or we will silent for allow things to go bad. Now, the issue now, Naya, that letter, if you ask whether right or not, the key issues they only for deliberate on Naya. One, you now see that letter they talks about the welfare of judges. A judiciary is not about only a judge. Take on to the least possible local judiciary. And so for our judges, then, because we expect much from them, then forget a very good conditions of service for them for do their work. But
so I don't feel so satisfied with the answer you give me. Yes, is it the letter we write? That letter was wrong for me to write that letter day, or probably other means than the way we landed judge for don't go through before that letter they become public. That's my initial question.
Now, you ask me that question, for I answer you, there has to be the rules as to how you communicate to your grievance. There is not before anyone for tell you if a judge feel disgruntled or about something. One, if you write first to the Judicial Legal Service Commission. Two, you write to the Chief Justice. Three, you write to the President. None of that not before. So I cannot tell you whether it is wrong or right. What you need for address, now the content of the letter.
Okay.
That judges them, you see, it's no fair and salary. So that is a key, fundamental.
All right. So we can talk about that key. I think Edward, you will help me. Was the judge?
Thank you.
He can write the letter day or not?
Thank you very much. Good morning, family. Good morning, listeners. The issue as to whether or not the judge being right for do that particular letter day, a hinge on a lot of things, like how my colleagues say. If you look at the contents of the letter, you did notice the judge make reference to certain things then, including one, the fact that we don't do other letters then. So clearly, the judge been done utilize other mechanisms
internally.
Okay. It definitely be don't do that. They be don't engage. In fact, it be don't convene a meeting with other judges, senior judges in the judiciary. You did notice it make reference to all of them things then. It also belong go to the extent for request the Judicial Legal Service Commission for making institute an investigation into in concerns. If you don't personally reach out to the Chief Justice based on the contents of in letter, you understand? So having exhausted all of those channels without in concerns being addressed, I feel like it been very much deal within him right for make a communicate the way he do. As a matter of fact, if you don't engage, if you don't utilize all the internal mechanisms, then his concerns were still being neglected. It was open to him to do the way how
he can to the attention of the public, mainly public aware.
Okay. Now it don't get the attention we deserve, albeit may not be as the way how it be anticipate, but very much so the learned judge been don't utilize other internal mechanisms for put in grievances them across. And clearly from the allegations, now victim. You know, when a victim don't suffer injustice, it is not in your hands for direct and for dictate to how it falls. So
you tag that as injustice. Probably the CJ gets a different opinion or view to which you say so.
I understand, and in me capacity as the Assistant General Secretary of Lawyer Society, of course you are aware saying that the organization we very committed to issues of rule of law, good governance, due process, and all of that. Issues like this gravely concerning to we. So when we get wind of this particular letter we've been the make waves now the public, we actually reach out to the Chief Justice in line with the principles of natural justice. See, there is in public circulation a letter from Justice Halloway in which serious concerns are being raised. Please respond to these concerns for us so that we will be better informed for engage the public, because it very much fall within we remit as an institution concerned with due process, independence of the judiciary, and all of that. Now, that's a very serious public interest matter for we, so we take them very seriously. So we'll do a letter to them. Say, we want to get your side of the issues there. Unfortunately, the Chief Justice never responded.
Up till now.
It never responded to we letter. That letter we do to it was dated the 22nd August. Mind you, Justice Halloway in letter have been the 11th August it one. So having been in circulation for a couple of weeks, we decided as part of we mandate for pick up public interest issues, for before engaging the public, for get the Chief Justice in your side.
They want to argue argue at some point.
Yes.
Court on recess now.
Understandable, but the court they on recess, yes, granted. But the Chief Justice not the function as an individual. He gets an entire office. So definitely correspondences they come and go to and from that particular office.
So probably official matters should be dealt with officially, not probably we court not the if court on recess this means therefore we take court resume sitting and then
they definitely not be consideration for we. Okay. So having done that letter of 22nd August, we not get response to, we not only go public, we do a further letter, we not been a follow-up letter. We dated the 15th of September, you know, the 5th September, sorry. The 5th September, we do a follow-up letter to the Chief Justice after we don't get credible information. As a matter of fact, we began assurance the Chief Justice actually did in town. Yes, vacation period, but then they don't mean to the office of the Chief Justice the law. As a matter of fact, the office of the Chief Justice, they actually function during the vacation. It just not the function as much as it function during normal court time. So we do again a follow-up letter, calling his attention to the fact that we don't do that letter, we not even get an acknowledgement of receipt of farm. You know. And we remind them again, we want to make a response because definitely we one person make allegations against another. The law requires if you ensure you read the other person's side before you take a position, and then clearly we do. You know, but the law also requires if person make allegation against you, then you not talk. Then in or any arbiter or any third party free for draw any conclusion we go draw. So if Justice Halloway don't make the allegations there, the Chief Justice don't see them, we don't request them for make a response, you know, do them, then definitely we are left with no options but for draw relevant conclusions.
All right, we'll cancel that later. Moses, I know you want to talk about the content of that letter there. I mean, but according to El Cas yesterday in the Epic Morning Show, the second segment, it talked about this thing though equally happen, I think in 2010 under former President Anes Baikoma, when Justice Halloway make request of the same thing there and probably we get suspension, not even the same thing, but we get suspension in this 2010, and this is what's happening now. So we'll talk about the content of that letter there, why she gets so much concern about.
Yeah, and as I've been talking about this, look at the content, yeah? This Judge Day, let's say, you know, they getting salary withheld from him and the other field. But again, if you do a research, you talk to some of them benchers there, them judges there, you know, this thing will happen now to Justice Halloway. Don't give them more, say, let not talk anything. Because there are judges since they appointed over 5 years. No official vehicle do not provide for them. Then they use their own vehicle there. Although our government provide for them fuel, but they use their own private vehicle. They don't get no personal security. If you get personal security, at your own expense. No medical law. Yeah, very little. Say what you made about CJ. This is something I can say now publicly, but I will not disclose the. I was reliably informed that when this dead Justice Binekama, when we sick, this Chief Justice, humanly, I will not disclose the amount. They wrote out a check for him, for look at himself, medical, for go India, supposed to go Turkey. Unfortunately, you know, for Mecca. You understand me? Perhaps it has that human aspect of him, but you get to look at the general welfare of the.
So one go on for ask, is it that the judicial system probably will say money no day on a part of disciplinary reason, or it gets political reason?
So for me now, I want to twist the argument a bit. Yeah. Now you see that letter where the president say he act on the advice of the Judicial Legal Service Commission. Yeah. I want to let people understand today.
So I don't want to twist this conversation. I want to get to that side. Why you feel say Justice Halloway probably be deprived of certain things the way he's supposed to get, we end up use in personal money. I'm asking if probably na money not the on a disciplinary decision or probably except for the political reason.
Well, if you look at judiciary now, I don't know almost then they allocate to them budget now. But that money, if you compare to what they give the office of other offices then, it's quite small. But now, when the government want to ensure say it gets in your way through the law, you now the judiciary then the abupa. But people already deliver for you. You have to make them happy. But again, they have to be independent. But what's in the happen so now when somebody complain of your right? So what's me the question now the due process, how they come to that conclusion day. Now,
that of course will never reach to that suspension.
So that is my focus, because all what you don't talk so now is in the public now.
Okay. So in lawyer society now, interpretation of that letter there, I mean I'll send the same question to you. Is it that the judiciary probably lack of finance, or it gets to do with disciplinary action, or probably political undertone?
As a country, Sierra Leone as a country we get financial problem. Generally, all side financial challenges then they, you understand? Then nobody no go dispute them. But at the same time, like I make broad messages now, there are usually allocations.
So, but when you look into that letter, there even one is a constitutional breach.
Yes.
And that's probably logically, you know, feel like you want to look at say, and you know, want to look at say na money no day.
Yes.
Probably something happened along the line within in the CJ.
At the camp. So generally, money problem day. I mean, in fact, not to salon no more. That said, the judiciary definitely gets in allocations, and them allocations then they cover various issues, including judges, the welfare, medical, you know, allowances in respect of movement, fuel, then kind of thing, and the service to the vehicles and all of that. These are statutorily provided allowances. Nobody no get right. The constitution make am very clear. Say nobody no for review denting the to the disadvantage of a judge. So Justice Halloway they complain in a letter say, contrary to that in breach of that particular constitutional provision.
138 subsection 2.
Yes, the Chief Justice don't deprive him of denting you know. So definitely, aside from the again, it goes back to the fact that the Chief Justice really refused for response to the allegations Other it should have really guided the public for waiting the judiciary in perspective and himself as the Chief Justice in perspective on the allegations
But when
much as the law provide for situations where a judge can be suspended, it is very clear that according to the contents of that letter, and again the refusal of the Chief Justice to respond to those allegations, those processes are definitely not exhausted. I mean, you cannot just arbitrarily deprive a judge of privileges bestowed on him by.
So basically, one vote should pull the conversation away from lack of finance. That must
definitely
be other reason, and they could happen.
Definitely. So and much as I know, go into the political grounds where you suggest.
You have to keep a secret. I know it's happened, but
that's
I know
what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not aware of a political reason. What I'm saying that there is legal provision as to how much as a judge can be suspended, as a result of which those privileges can be taken away from him. The position of Lawyer Society is that those legal provisions were not exhausted, and the deprivation of those privileges, insofar as Justice Halloway concerned, a breach of the law will govern not only the judiciary but the country as a whole.
All right, so now make anyone can choose this, because this for me we'll get clarity before we go to the suspension.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you don't be deprived, yes, we understand this context. That means logically, a not get for do it anything lack of finance. It gets for do it probably in the CJ, not the see eye to eye.
Definitely.
We both agree on that.
Well,
we all agree on that.
Well, I don't want to say in the CJ, no, they see eye to eye. I don't know the extent of the relationship between them. Okay. But the fact of the matter is,
so again, it could be at some point disciplinary action.
Well, the thing is, a disciplinary action not supposed to be done arbitrarily. There are rules that are supposed to be followed. So Lawyer Society is saying those rules were not followed. As a result, the deprivation of those privileges were done outside of the ambits provided by law. In fact, you did notice say the learned judge Justice Halloway indicate in letter say some of the people then we supposed to provide them services they make them clear to and say this particular thing we ask for but the Chief Justice say make we not give. They not say they say a day. So clearly that takes it out of the realm of unavailability of funds and all of that. So we are saying, much as a judge can be deprived of those things under as part of disciplinary measures, the steps that we required for be taken before that point they be reached, those steps were not taken. That's what basically we are saying.
Moses, shortly after the 11th of August, we see on the 15th of September, we see the suspension.
Before you get to that point, I just want to add something within Council the talk. Whether that last question you ask. Now, most people don't understand this. The judiciary then teach and train we for respect with seniors. Yeah?
Okay.
Just like in military. Also in life. You for respect you are a big past you. Yeah? This whole thing has a moral side to it. This Justice Halloway that has been suspended was a lecturer of Chief Justice Command Commander now at Fobe College.
Okay.
So you see how life can turn. So somebody was your lecturer, somebody you lectured as a student, so you don't feel like you don't get a better mark.
They kind of tell you boss.
No, you don't tell you boss. But in the practice, you have to respect him. Yeah? So what we need to question now, if you see in America where I know that they all can go holiday, then you go enjoy, fine, go to vacation. You enjoy law and order day. In America, they see President Trump just to appoint somebody for go be the Chief Justice. They consider age. Perhaps this is where president would have got it wrong. Now in power for a point. But again, if you don't get sober advice, look at the composition, look at the age.
So forget you right. Seems as if Justice Halloway self at some point we get interest in the CJ position.
Everybody when they appoint as judge, they will not tell you this, but they want to be Chief Justice. So okay. Lord left that issue there. Me, as I came here this morning, I saw everything. My issue here is about the process, but you don't give me a chance.
No, we get time for talk about the process. We get time for talk about the process,
okay,
but we need to know the root cause of how we reach into to the suspension.
You cannot know because these are grown-ups. So they get them personal. You know they go couch it personal in the public.
But you don't talk about sensitive issue. I mean, electoral justice, the CJ, and probably himself don't get interest in that. In probably the CJ's office, and also that probably could have been the reason himself not go on for.
Well, if Justice Halloway if Justice Halloway state that, then people will frown at her. Because if you're not giving a power, is not going to get so. If you're not giving, let go. But he say, "My salary." That's the constitutional right. So if you don't touch him, we're expecting the CJ as a human being. First of all, this man, a big one, call him, say, "What I don't do you?" I mean, like he said, what's wrong? You have to be diplomatic. All right, get a salary. How old is Justice Halloway? So next year I do 65, it's gone. Now look what happened now. Big time, they made a mistake. That I was not afraid for anything. They don't follow the law.
So we'll talk about the suspension now.
Fine. So look at the commission now. The Justice Legal Service Commission. If you look at section 141 of the 1991 Constitution, it tells you, say, this JLC go there for advice the CJ in the performances of a function and other law them provided for this Constitution.
And the Constitution 138 subsection 2
I'm talking about 141.
Now just say put that in mind self as well, because that was the stated.
So and this commission shall consist of the Chief Justice, who shall be the chairman, and the most senior justice of the Court of Appeal. Now, what we need to get is this issue of transparency. Yeah. Let us see that minute of those that were in attendance. How the decision was reached. Now, nothing stops the GLSC for recommend to President for remove a judge. But now, if you look at section 137, we're very clear before you go to 138. It tells you, say, where somebody has been appointed as a judge, now we're 65 years, now if you retire, or 3 months after 65 years, you can retire. Notwithstanding, if you look at section 4, subsection 4, it says, subject to this provision, a judge of the Superior Court can only be removed or may be removed from office, 1, if he's sick, 2, may not say judge will create so, but did he? On sound mind, 3, for statement misconduct. So now the JLSC will come up with that question. And now it goes down to section 5. It says this JLSC must represent to the President that the question of removing a judge of Supreme Court or the Chief Justice under subsection 4 ought to be investigated. You get the point? Then, if not so, the President now for act in consultation with this commission and appoint a tribunal. And that tribunal forget chairman, and not just the chairman and the Chief Justice. So people who qualify for be appointed as Supreme Court judge, meaning now lawyers. You understand me? Then the tribunal now will appoint under this paragraph A will now inquire into that matter and report on the facts and the findings to the President and recommend to the President where the judge ought to be removed. After they would have done that, then the President now under subsection 6, where they refer to now, so where the question of removing the judge of the Supreme Court of Judicial has been referred to the President under subsection 5, now the President may suspend. Not so? So here is the question, Mr. Moderator. Were these steps followed? We now see a letter coming from the office of the President. You suspend, now you go say for form a tribunal. The President He's not a lawyer.
So, but the
President-
thing is that we all know, say clearly, situation between the Chief Justice and that of Justice Halloway. There is a situation, and probably at some point a need for be suspended for
No.
the investigation will continue. That was stated there.
No. That is why.
As for the investigation, I'm not a legal person, but I'm just
that's
asking.
why I'm going to challenge every machine on there. That's the position. You know the when one start motoka, when I move motoka, you start first, not so. When you start, you change gear. Me I not drive one. But when I suppose you start motoka, I put on gear 2. No, so not to one they take and first. From there, you go small. So if
But there is an existing problem between
now,
CJ
the existing problem should have been inquired into first by the Justice Legal Service Commission, and that letter where he write to CJ. That's the question. Was it misconduct? You need to answer that question before I know. So this man not pull on. That's what you're talking about, President Koma. Me, I don't know about that one day. So I don't know about the fact. But this time one no pull now. I'm a lawyer. I'll address the issue. Me no they blame President Biyo now. This trip now, me I will give him the benefit of the doubt. Now what him then tell him? But what he was told, if I were President Biyo because it don't look embarrassing. That illegal team they for the veteran, some man then for just put other one. Because this is very clear. And if you look at the Constitution, these are senior people for don't take this step. But you go suspend somebody, then you can set up tribunal. It's like it's less of accountability. That's like punish the person first. It's like a threat. So to all other judges, it's wrong. That will not allow. So we're not asking the president in power. Nothing stops him from suspending if that follow the due process. Now that you see this blunder, let revoke him.
You tag as a blunder?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
As per law. Let them show me now whether they investigate. If they got to a finding, but they don't suspend the man and they can ask for go investigate. No, it doesn't make sense.
Edward, I mean, we see on our position in this, and of course, they ask the president to give us that decision day.
Definitely. And just taking off from what my colleague stop, the president, we can call him His Excellency, but that do not remove the human side of him at all. In fact, we don't see a couple of situations in the past where the office of the president do something where later they reverse him. So counting on those that aspect of him, we can request that this particular one, the most senior judge, now the highest court of the land, Justice Halloway, now the most senior judge of the Supreme Court, they don't become a victim of, according to him, injustice. The judiciary responsible for, in fact, now the sole institution we responsible for the dispensation of justice. If the highest member of that judiciary, they cry injustice, imagine waiting at the implication for the common man. You understand? So definitely the law provide for make the president, for make a judge, whichever judge be investigated, for make disciplinary actions be taken. But before this particular suspension they come, we don't see, as members of the Sierra Leone public, we don't see, in fact, even outside Sierra Leone, the allegations the way Justice Halloway don't put forward against the Chief Justice. I just don't indicate to you, see, before it go public, it actually make enormous effort for resolve the issues there internally. Now, because these issues continue to be neglected, now that they make himself, he was forced to go public. You understand? So them in complaining, what about them? What about his own complaints? What about his own allegations? Yes, whoever it is will lodge complaint against him at the Judicial Legal Service Commission. He get right for do so if he get grounds. Unfortunately, the public not aware, if at all, any complaint was made against him, would I make the complaint? These are the issues that really are concerning in this situation. If a justice of that caliber, they suffer these forms of injustice, then this is really worrisome for our judiciary. That's why, as a society concerned about due process and the rule of law, we see make allegations be looked into. As a matter of fact, he mentioned insider in statement. If you look at an insider in letter, see, it only happens, see, now in don't come on do. But a couple of colleagues and the other judges then they suffer oppression in the hands of the Chief Justice. We, for reasons best known to them, then they, well, understandably, because of fear of reprisal. Because look at what happened to the senior most judge. So because of that, they no they fear for come out. So if allegations of this nature and the judiciary gets a major mandate when it comes to the functioning of the state, if this kind of thing happens.
So do you want to probably attest to the fact? So I think it would be tough that the judiciary is divided.
Able.
I will not go as far as to say the judiciary is divided. What I would say is that Justice Halloway has...
forgive reason and say the judiciary is politically divided.
No.
I will not go to that extent. I would say Justice Halloway has suffered very serious injustices that deserve to at least be looked into. They don't complain, say...
Allegations.
They don't complain, say... They don't subject him, the chief, no less a person than the Chief Justice himself, don't subject him to oppression. They basically don't deprive him of his rights, and it also go to the extent and allege constitutional breaches against the Chief Justice. I mean, as a lawful society, it only makes sense. It only stands to reason for make the allegations that the way Justice Halloway don't make, for let it be looked into.
One would wonder, I mean, including myself, they ask, I mean, waiting actually be in that crime. That was the reason why I asked. That was the reason why I asked. The first question is, the right to write the letter, whether if it be wrong or right. Because upon all waiting that happened, so now people would wonder why the suspension in the first place.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't already lay a premise to you that the man exhausts all internal mechanisms. In fact, he go over.
So one for asks why the suspension now?
So
why?
That's what I'm saying. In fact, as far as the public concerned, the Chief Justice now in allegations they are against. The public not aware of any allegations against Justice Halloway. Not so. So if Justice Halloway allegations no day in the public domain against, if he has been suspended, if he is being investigated, why not the person where actually allegations then in the public domain against? If so, Justice Halloway has been suspended as a result of that investigation, what about the person where actually allegations then stand against within the public domain?
Moses, I mean, as lawyers, at some point, you know, one would think when this suspension come on.
No, wait,
I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming on the 15th of September. Una go and show say within una say una don't they ask. I mean, wait to make then suspend Justice Halloway.
As I tell you, as I start in the opening.
So within within how.
As I start, I say we saw a suspension letter without any reason stated.
So is it don't one for the think critically say probably it could have been this X, Y, Z?
Yeah, well, so they make guesses now. Would they make guesses? But the fact is there was a letter where he write to CJ for complaint. He issues them. If now for that letter they make them suspend them, me get a different take about this. I say the procedure of suspension, it's not whether I was suspended or not. Now, whether the procedure was right. So
the procedure of stating out of or spilling out to grievances
it was wrong. So,
could have been wrong as well by Justice Halloway.
No. That letter, you don't come. Una for investigate first. When you investigate.
So for that letter, the leak self might have been probably.
No. The letter not leak. Not like the
letter go. I'm coming. Like the letter go on. Now the letter at some point go na public domain. Probably it's not
the way they prevent Justice Halloway for expressing grievances. As a matter of fact, the Chief Justice is a public officer. You understand? A public officer. So if you get grievances against them, you don't try for engage them personally. You attend to your grievances. You don't engage other colleague judges then. Una don't get meetings. Then address your concerns. You don't write the Judicial and Legal Service Commission for make them intervene. It not happen. Whose option we available to you? It can't go first.
Okay.
No, he can't do that. As a matter of fact, this is an officer of the law. So he just used the law for seek redress. And now they absolutely deal within.
So if the Constitution states anything, we get to look at, because I know that 1383 talk about how
the conditions.
As a matter of
fact, so I'm asking now whether the Constitution states if you get issue.
As a matter of fact,
the Constitution states anything.
Justice Halloway not breach any legal or procedural rule when it comes to expressing his grievance. There is no law where he breach. None, absolutely.
Yeah, Moses, you want to say something?
Just a quick one. As you're talking about, this borders on Section 25, your right to expression. So I can do it verbally, can do it written, as long as you know breach any ethics or any law. He could have gone say at the right op-ed, a right letter to the public. What would have happened? They're right. So there are several ways. What do they say now?
So the Constitution states, say if a judge feel dissatisfied, I'm coming, or feel like how Justice Halloway treated, so there is a part in the Constitution which states the procedures way for follow.
Okay, let me help you small on that one day. First of all, Justice Halloway is a human being. So as a human being, he gets rights provided for in Chapter 3 of this Constitution. What I mentioned, a right to expression.
Okay.
You don't write it down. Say, this is what I feel. So that's what is right. And Lord, one day, you don't judge. You don't write. So it was left with the CJ now for address them. But because we know our systems are so broken, we not be fair to ourselves. So many people we don't get power now, untouchable. So that is why we will continue for the suffer. Even people don't vote. Democracy is about giving people the right. There should be rule of law. If they complain to you as Chief Justice, all right, this issue I don't forget back and forth. What should they do? Address them. You have your colleagues, but this is what Justice Halloway has done. When I say how to go about that, and something that borders on him in professional misconduct, then what you can do now, the GSC can come in now for investigate. But we don't know what this man don't do. All based on that letter. Now we are telling us, President don't suspend that. My own question or my own position is this: one, the CJ is the chairman of that Justice Legal Service Commission, and the law they tell you say a man cannot be a judge in your own court. Now this complaint, now you didn't lay him. It's against you. So why do you go set up a meeting where you go chair? So if he was not there, let them provide us because of transparency. Let us show you the minutes. Who are made in attendance? But what you mean though, and I still hold on to them. Those who advise the president, then forget for section 137 subsection 5 is there. They overlook and they go suspend and they can't set up tribunal.
So for you that was a wrong decision.
It's wrong.
Okay.
That's my position. Because when you get caught, I call myself cat and horse. You know they put the horse behind the cattle. The horse is before the cat. So this issue now, we're not suspended. But waiting, what's the issue? Is it about to be suspended, to be removed? For remove a judge, it's very difficult. I'll not tell you this. It can be embarrassing now because of Justice Halloway has been suspended. But if you're going to do all of this, they never go table and back again at Parliament. And need a 2/3 majority. But considering history, what has happened, I don't know whether the parliamentarian will get that stomach day for saying no, this thing was not done properly. We know they remove this president the judge. But again, this is here alone. Everything way bad, something and then they happen. So before we to that stage where then they can't send and go parliament and for go decide on that. One who say that day it's a given. Let the president kindly, as a mortal man, as I speak the law, if I might be wrong, let them revoke that suspension day. They did not follow the constitution provided for. Because if we are in another country, I would have gone to Supreme Court for interpretation. But now, going back, it's a judicial independent.
Moses, Edward, I mean,
yes.
Waiting at the position now, I mean, from Lawyer Society. And I don't actually the president reverse this decision. Waiting next to happen.
Okay, so again, dealing with the issue of the reason for the suspension. I mean, if anybody wants to go into that, really, you could just, they struggle in the realm of speculation. Because nothing, again, like I said earlier, nothing at the public domain by way of an allegation against Justice Halloway. None, absolutely. So, again, if you remember a couple of months back, we get similar situation na the Sierra Leone Bar Association. Now I make it very important for make we not let bad example stand. Starting people then abuse them offices then within then go ahead and do things them with the outside of the law, with the in breach of the law. Now I make a couple of weeks and say no, this particular thing.
In that direction, everybody gets right in interpreting law. Maybe unsafe at some point might be wrong.
I understand. The law rests very much on the issue of interpretation.
Thank you.
But there are basic things. There are very, very, very. For example, where elections come, people you get normally waiting and call voter register.
So no, push away. At some point, una self might be wrong in forming the lawyer society. So
much as the law rests on interpretation, there are basic standards. There are generally accepted standards. I just be there about for you example of one.
Okay.
The issue of election is key in democracy. You understand? Everybody will eligible, suppose, for exercising franchise, but there are requirements. One of which, for example, na registration. We register, then your name will be part of the voter register. So if somebody, much as the law is that everybody will eligible, entitled for votes, if somebody decide not to exercise that right today, for example, by registering, if election time can they go allow and make a vote, they don't go for that. Yeah, interpretation not the. So those are some of the instances. You understand? So again, we get an opportunity as a country for states waiting our position. Now we position for make person where they in position of trust, we get power for make a use them for oppress other one them how you want, devoid of waiting the law say. That is what this particular situation is calling us to. That question is what this situation is calling us to answer. And as a country, given we don't
probably we reach out to bar association as well. Probably if we don't get a difference, your contrary if you to which you talk about, sir.
Well, that's as a matter of fact, when you say bar association, it's quite an interesting statement because
so we have bar association, we have
because
society.
Here I am still a member of the Leone Bar Association. You know, so if you refer to the executive, the illegitimate executive within the Leone Bar Association, then that's fine. It's up to them for say within and they say. But the position of the lawyer society is that certain procedures have been breached, as a result of which we implore the presidency for look into this particular suspension. As a matter of fact, this particular person where they don't suspend, the learned justice, it get in complaints and then at the public domain. Now a victim. So what do we do when someone is complaining as a society? When somebody complains that they don't do and bad, what we see what they do? So far, waiting the president don't see the answer. What the president don't give to that question, then that we oppress you, we try for silence you. So now I make with the court, and that is not. The president's powerful, the chief justice powerful, but they are too subject to the constitution. The constitution is supreme. So we rely on the same constitution for imploring, make them step back. This justice here, now this don't happen to. Imagine something, the senior most judge now the country, now the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, if they complain, he's a victim of injustice. Then therefore be very concerning for any Sierra Leonean. So if the one way you go, we decide where you go, if somebody abuse the rights, now they saw this complaint at the commons. So now I make every Sierra Leonean for take this issue very, very, very seriously.
So what's next? What's going to happen?
Well, as part of we mandate, we continue for engage the public and implore the president. It is not too late. It is never too late to do the right thing. A couple of steps can always be taken at the backwards for correct wrong steps. They say when you embark on the wrong journey, you're supposed for candom at the most the earliest available stop. If you continue for day on board, you make the journey more and more expensive, and you make the return more and more difficult.
Okay.
So hopefully this not go too far it. So as a country we struggle with one very bad precedent we don't set in this country in the issue of the Samsumana case. Unfortunately, this same Supreme Court it basically give the president, the executive arm of government, a blank check, and then we still suffer from. Hopefully the current leadership in the country in this particular situation will get the backbone, will be brave enough for really draw the line.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think we don't stretch that so much that the suspension on the 15th of September, waiting there for happen. Why the suspension, we're still unclear. And yesterday, if you follow the Epic Morning Show, we try for stretch that out again. Still not be clear by social media, still not clear why the suspension. But waiting, we get to understand it's still a pending case and the investigation will continue. According to Moses, he was saying, well, before then suspend and if we investigate them first. That's what you're saying. That's your point. Thank you so very much. Your first call online already. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and the side you call from, please.
This is Bakar from Fomex.
Bakar from Fomex. Go ahead.
Always I say, let God bless you, brothers. Then within at the studio. Me really the surprise that she don't really think this. It's like now all the institutions them will make up democracy, we give it hope. And the institution indeed they die out too. Because like if you think about the justice system, like how in the press say it don't improve, it don't A, B and C with the evident kind here with the panic. But the better evident here is would they expect to let the lawyers then stand, let them tin up for like then go independent because then they on the constitutional review. If them people are independent, when you watch them people are in a politician then get 5 or 10 years. While some of them people in the way they practice law, then they them 20, 30 years and then play silly. When they come, then they can control them and molest them. Look, the big molestation we gone. This happened back again to the Auditor General. Same thing until we say then they set up Tribunal. When they come out by the time they member they don't sack them. All the institution and then a big problem to we. So let people understand what thing happen under this tenure, what thing they go on under His Excellency the President in tenure.
Thank you.
Let me tell you no big problem. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. 079-994-993, not the number for being part of the Epic Morning Show. And when you call, please try very hard for stay within 1 minute. Go online again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Come on, you're your TV set here.
Morning, Epic Radio.
Good morning. Your name and where you call you from?
Thank you. Noah from Kisi.
Noah, go ahead, brother.
Wow. This is unfortunate that the new direction make this mistake back. They don't do at the Auditor General in case. So I'm not expected to do at this time. The suspension of Halloway, not blunder for new direction because it exposed the judicial is not independent. So I would say the Attorney General will responsibly advise the President for the correct thing. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and for your contribution to the program. And of course, well, 079994993. Logo line again. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kumai PC.
All right, Kumai PC. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for the program. About the suspension of the judge. Trust me, this country, this government don't permit me for say, all the time in the count new direction. But all things happening in the count the past government for say, this past government don't do this, then say they can't do this. But not to change this, all them promise the people them. See, so this is a time for say, if the judge and they seek for justice. That's about Dana Kongmana Street. That is a time for say, this country, inside this country, they go under this government. Trust me, it's very serious. Where the people of this country not happy about that. So you see, so can you imagine? This type of people they go seek for justice. Then people and they cry for justice in this country. That they tell you for say, you the common man at the street, I could take time because the judge them, when they give you justice, when they cut to case them, when they see to case them, then they go through them challenge here, with the old society and they own at the court. That they tell you for say, you the common man, this is not conscious time now for you, awareness age for say. Them people there, everything with them promise, they're able to fulfill.
Thank you so
this
very much.
This is the right time
Thank
to
you.
Leone for conscience.
You're exceeding 1 minute.
We do the right thing in this country.
Thank you so very much for your contribution. We recall, please try for stay within 1 minute and make your point. I mean, no time for go past 1 minute and Logi other people in chance for call. Logo line again and pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning. Your name and where you call from, please.
Hello?
Good morning. Your name and where you call from?
Maybe from Eastern.
All right, from Estins. Go ahead, brother.
You are the ask question. The when people are holding a registration, they say in a law society, then we get bar association. Then two, all I'm doing like I will come with anybody from the law, when they represent the law for men, they can get the version of them. Because that any control for the money they suspend. Then why should we get somebody from the courts who will cancel put them exactly happen?
Okay, so
you understand?
I get you.
I believe saying that one day we forget from me.
So okay.
Because what you know, we don't never know for no goal. I'm 61 years that we do. We never know about law society. Now bar association we know about.
Thank you.
It's all the big competition kind of this country.
Thank you so very much.
Then you report to other side. Then you report to who don't for believe. At least one of the legal organization program that will also go from the bar.
Alright, so now that's about clarified to you see. Now that's about clarified to you see. We call them and we will call governments. We'll get them position on this, but they're not responsible. So that's a continuous.
I want to count you. When you get from the side.
So if they respond to we call, definitely then for don't they are. But if they actually respond to we call again, they will carry them make they will get
democracy. The democracy don't live to them. So we are
thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I mean, this now a systemic guy or put time. I mean, we try very hard for reach out to them and I mean then turn me down. They don't get for talk about this issue. So law continues 079994993. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Epic Radio.
Good morning.
Yeah, this highly connected at Solution Center. This is Afresoloku.
All right, Afresoloku.
My brother, I thank you to Unawo they really come with their program here on. And with brothers they say when our lawyers they under, I tell them thank you. You understand? But normally, when we contribute here, I don't go bash on the government. Government is governed, it cover with lawyers there. Lawyers then they within the government, in opposition. The government there in your lawyers there, they advisor in their matters there. If them things happen, not to the government get the problem. Then when are the lawyers there? Not then they mislead me in this country. You understand? Because when something they happen, you go tell the president saying I so for do, I so for do. If you do, the president do something wrong, it come up from the lawyers then. That they will get blame. Okay. You see, me and not to see really like but again things there where they happen. So we need lawyers there, therefore they do something where we know they expect from them. You understand? You will be in a political party, but love your profession. You understand? So now me your contribution from Solution Center.
Thank you so very much for your contribution to the program. 079994993. Now the number for be part of the Epic Morning Show. And when you call, please stay within 1 minute. Logo line and then pick another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Call boss, your name and say the call from please.
I call at our name. All
right, go ahead.
Okay, I want to because I want to remember this country. Anyhow, can say this are the first gentleman of this country. Now, one of the police suspend man. What are you crying most suspend man for, sir?
Okay.
Don't understand.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And 079994993. We'll probably take 2 more calls and try for the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. My own person, George, all set for the second segment. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Good morning, boss. I'm
from Central.
Go ahead, brother.
First and foremost, unfortunately, I can't illegal people in the studio who can talk.
I don't get you for conversating.
I say, unfortunately, I count illegal representation, lawyer society. Because now break away faction. You know, we expect them for talk anything. We go make bet for we. Because you get bad situation. The lawyer society. If you don't have society kind of studio, you don't say lawyers bad situation of you, then you representation of the issue. You either man at the studio. Then certain at the studio, then are the menace for the problem. Because they're not a lawyer. They all don't mess up this whole thing for the border. Then you pull the certificate. The bad thing with people they experience now that this judicial cause up, they all with that institution and they inside that bad backstay cause problem for issue. So then nobody pull the inside. This bad thing will happen. This man 2010 they suspended the same time. It's at the same September. So you don't can get the same suspension back. What's the advice? Let them make this profession so something very people be there. There could be no great mandate. Then if it be possible, you count like this Francis Gabby on a time for catch up on this. I don't know my way. No, somebody will take 10 years or more.
for country issue. We don't get no better to you.
Thank you.
Count a very senior judge. We go can tell me what's in the issue. We can somebody bias or politically desperate.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And I'm 079-994-993. Now the number for be part of the program. We'll take one last call and try for wrap the first segment of the Epic Morning Show. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Usman from Spolo.
All right, Usman, go ahead from Spolo.
Which now we say now we didn't make them with the engage because the chief judge them did before the judge them. And then they're going to let it, you understand? Now, my question is, instead of investing and suspend them before they investigate them, which one will come first?
All right.
You understand? Because government for investigate somebody for so they find out guilty, then take the action. But another take the action, then they investigate the chief judge, which is wrong. Now, at the head of this, the court. So if you let me get it, so what about the man now? And the chief judge, if you never justice, you are entered the fear for G judge in terms of anything so far with the apple.
All right.
You understand? Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. We will not take any more call again. And start off with I'll start with Moses. You listen to the callers then. Moses.
Yeah, and just this democracy, people get the right for contribute. And I don't get much for say other than I should try to wrap up the program. Just get a few messages I will try to say. Now, to we judges them, fellow judges them, and our senior them. This thing really touched them, the independence and them, the work what they do. But if they get away and care for talk to President and CJ, for let them try to reverse this situation. Otherwise, you feel like say they are silent, and if they are silent, it means they are weak. And now, if they cannot defend their colleague, not going to for defend them when the political wind will change. So what we talk about judicial independence now is a privilege, not a privilege for one person, but a safeguard for we all. Now the bar association where this other caller they talk now, I said unfortunately we invite them and not come, and as my brother tell, we're all members of the bar association. The bar over the years, since this government came to power, has been remained silent. And one of them core functions now for ensuring they defend the lawyers, both lawyers, and the integrity of the justice system. So they call them for let them try to ask for transparency, fairness, and the rule of law. In how this tribunal will be set up, but we're not going for each day now because we want to talk to President this thing, let they revoke it. Then the message to the public and supporters of the government. This is not about politics. I see people. It's not about politics. Yeah, or would I appoint them? If this judiciary can be undermined at any time, today or tomorrow, no citizen in this country is safe. You understand? So we have for sure the rule of law for protect everyone, regardless of na Tolongo you dey, na Paupa you dey, na KKY. No, whether in a Muslim or Christian, it should be as a human being for protect we all. You understand? So what we are asking for going forward in the process there, that transparency. People not for the rush for the make decision. President not a lawyer, and the president not the read constitution. Even when she don't answer, not alter the constitution. No. People like say, why I get reason like a carpenter. I want to do particular work. I will look at my toolbox. When them do the suspension, I have to read the constitution. So now make her go back there. Yeah. So president, you know they blame him. Now what you didn't tell her. But now that the mistake is very clear, let them try to respect judicial independence. And then we need a response from the Chief Justice. You don't need to come out and say anything. Just address this mind concern and I walk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my message.
Thank you so very much. Edward, quick one.
Yes, sir. Interesting points raised by listeners. So, responding quickly to then concerns then the way they raise. One of the concerns then we listeners then raise now that then the request for bar association deny the very first clarification. Further, we actually still are members of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, and the issue of due process key to we. And then they make, in fact, we that incident happened Kenima during we conference, who side we go, we be supposed to go elect to executive. We certain people that hijack the process. We stand firmly say we get rules and regulations how elections supposed to go.
All right, so let's stick to the colours there. I don't see you want to talk about the elections there.
Yes, so definitely we are here as members of the Sierra Leone Bar. So there is nothing stopping us from responding to these issues. As a matter of fact, me na a representative and executive member of the Lawyer Society, contrary to within a certain caller be say, I mean, I go understand. Now, probably a lay person, you don't understand the implications of referring to something as illegal. But we are very much a legal entity. We are Sierra Leoneans, and first off, then we are legal practitioners.
All right.
So, taking positions on issues that have to do with the dispensation of justice is key to us.
Okay.
I mean, like I say, due process and rule of law, very key to we. So somebody else talk about the issue of say lawyers and supposed to be blamed. As a matter of fact, we as Sierra Leoneans, we all get blamed for whose side we don't find ourselves as a country. But apart from the fact that we all get blamed, some of we they take the step for rectify, for play we own part, for reverse the negative trend where they happen. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of we have been complicit. I mean, would they sit down full and full foot, we bad they happen. Now then bad the way small one day, we be done they happen. We will be full and full foot, we need do nothing. Now make we don't deal with this. So.
All right.
So while we acknowledge we rule as Sierra Leoneans in the mess we don't find ourselves in as a country, we did make efforts for try for clean the mess as a society.
Thank you so very much, and for my time for being part of the Epic Morning Show. And we stretch. I mean, very hard for me. We get all sides to waiting at their own take off, waiting happen so. But well, that's what we did see this morning. That they don't be getting representation here. So I'm back off before this morning, but we actually try.